To me, Paul was, from the very beginning, a very deep person. One could look at his life and events leading up to this walk and say that he was a tad off in the head. According to his father, no matter how he cared for Paul, he never really moved on from the death of his mother. His life just started to plummet after her passing. He started to lose interest in life, and, according to his school, the quality of his behavior plummeted, taking his anger out on the very few people who tried to help him. Teachers soon became his enemies. The thought of his own family seemed to offset his mood. My crew and I have been documenting his case, or at least as much of his case as we could, and have arrived here. The how as to our being here is where the real story lies.
So, why are you back?
Because I want to come back, sir.
Do you really want to come back? This is not how you act in an academic environment. I don't think we should let him in.
Yes, sir, I agree. He has horrible writing, so I tried to help him out. But, that was regardless of his bad behavior, and when I went over to help him, he just thrashed out violently at me.
Alright, if I forgive you for these actions, will you behave?
Yes, sir.
Fine, you're back.
Paul had no real interest in returning to school. A true interest of Paul's, however, was to hear the noises made in Carnegie Hall. It seemed that music never failed to live in a special part of Paul's conscience as both a friend and a lover. He worked as an usher there at Carnegie Hall and, well, loved it.
Welcome to Carnegie Hall. I'm the best usher at Carnegie Hall.
Sure he was. It was not the ushering he loved the most, and that is for damn certain. It was the noise.
I love music. I only feel alive when I listen to music.
The sharp and hesitant sound of every score's beloved note in the hall moved him, and seemed to take him away in a trance. The way he took care of his clothes and stared at the prestigious sitting in front of him made it apparent that he had some thoughts of envy and or desire for the higher things in life. The hall was truly his dreamland, but...
I'm sorry, but you're fired.
Paul had a friend as well, by the name of Charlie Edwards, but not long after the sack.
So, what's your relationship with Edwards?
Me and Edward? Oh, we're best buddies. We hang out all the time.
So, what's your relationship with Paul?
Who's Paul?
You know, the guy that you hang out with?
Oh, him? Oh no, we don't hang with each other. He hangs around me. I barely know him.
What? He said that about me? Charlie's just being Charlie. It's not that serious.
His father agreed to tell us a little about what happened.
Yes. I told the managers at Carnegie Hall to replace my son with a new usher. Also, I don't want him to be hanging out with Charlie Edwards.
What's that in your hand?
Yes? This is just something to help me get away.
Paul left Pittsburgh and set off for New York City. After the crew and myself found him, we learned that he had met a freshman at Yale and had spent almost all of the stolen money. Paul took him out to dinner and, well...
We had such a wonderful day together. Remember we go to the woods, go through the village, and we bought all the things we ever wanted. I was just wondering, if you have time tonight, I will spend a wonderful night together. In my hotel.
Yeah, about that. I'm kind of busy later tonight, so we're gonna have to make a rain check on that one. We could do it some other time, though, if I ever see you around again. I'm sorry. Actually, I have to go right now, so it was nice meeting you. Goodbye.
Really?
I'm so
Okay.
sorry. Goodbye.
He actually decided to persist and eventually persuaded the student to come to his hotel room at 7 in the morning. They still separated on bitter terms. Our crew was unable to get Paul to say anything about what happened and just had to stand by as he drank himself into a deep sleep. We do have a feeling that Paul became a little
Our top story tonight.
impatient.
1 in every 10 doctors have been found dead in their office in a new wave of dental-related violence. When pressed for comment, a Colgate representative said, quote, "It's their fault for not recommending the damn toothpaste." In other news, saw company Denny and Carson had agreed to drop the case against Paul and his family. Paul's father, who wishes to remain anonymous, had paid back the stolen money worth around $1,000. The Denny and Carson lawsuit has started when Paul, a young, disgruntled teenager, had embezzled the salt company for $1,000. The former juvenile had taken $1,000 of the money he was supposed to deposit.
Yes, I refunded the checks. Although Paul's case might be a bad one, he is still my son and I love him very much. And as you can see, I'm going to go get him back.
He never got him back. We were packing our cameras when we saw Paul start to leave with a pistol in his jacket. We didn't know what he was going to do, so we ran after him, and after a bit of walking, we landed ourselves here, in front of the train tracks, and with no idea why he came here or what he was going to do next.